What's good? We back with another one. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow back with the Boxing Clinic. Apparently, the New York Knicks and the Portland Trailblazers have struck a deal to send Carmelo Anthony to Portland. CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard have been trying to recruit him to Portland tough. He's hell bent on getting to Houston. Apparently, Melo won't waive his trade clause to go to Portland right now until the Knicks try to strike a deal with Houston first. And if they can't strike a deal with Houston, I think by next Monday, the article I left in the description. So click on the link, Yahoo Sports. It's right in the description. He's going to be going to Portland on Monday then, I think it said, or early next week. So, he really wants to get to Houston, but Houston, is not willing to strike a deal. I think the New York Knicks don't want the contract of Ryan Anderson. I think that's a sticking point. But Anderson makes a good amount of money, and I think that's would be the key to the deal. I don't know why they went Ryan Anderson. Maybe it's a lengthier deal. And at the end of the stretch of last year, he had an injury. He wasn't the same. But at the end of the day, the Knicks not going nowhere anyway. So in a couple years, that Ryan Anderson contract will be a nice, contract for an NBA team to want. Especially if they want to swing a 3-team deal or a player somebody don't want. The Knicks can use the value. The Knicks are just an organization that's in disarray. No matter who they bring in there, short of the A team, it's not going to work. They brought back Tim Hardaway Jr. before they even got a GM. When they fired Phil Jackson, I don't understand why they brought him back. They're not going anywhere. And they should do Carmelo Anthony a service for he's the only ticket seller, only reason people come to Madison Square Garden, him and Porzingis. And at first, they didn't even like Porzingis. So they should do right by him and send him to Houston. But he has the power, though. He has all the power. He don't have to waive his no trade clause to go to Portland. He don't have to do that. So he wants them to make one final, try to send him to Houston. That's where he should go. He should go to Houston. Even though it may not work, I think Portland will work better for his career as far as, stats and comfortability and fluidity with that offense. Because I think Damian Lillard is a willing passer. I think CJ McCollum is a willing passer when he wants to. They're tired of being a 1-2 punch. As long as they keep Nurkic, that's a formidable team right there, man. It sounds like they giving up Prince of Farouk Aminu, Evan Turner, Mo Harkless, and I think a couple other guys, a lot of guys. And they got to give up one more guy that I failed to mention. And I think the Knicks not getting shit in that trade. None of them guys are, in shit. Aminu is supposed to be a star by now, or a good glue guy, a good star. He has star potential, I think, coming out of Georgia Tech. He ain't lived up to it. Mo Harkless is okay. So in Houston, Houston did trade a lot of pieces like Patrick Beverly and, whatever to Los Angeles Clippers. So I really don't know what Houston will have to give. A lot of draft picks, I would guess. I think Clinton Capella wouldn't be an option. And it'll be funny to see how, if Houston gets Carmelo, how they fill out with depth. They're number 2 in the ESPN BPI rankings, which is analytics and totally trash. But it's going to be funny to see how 3 primary ball handlers work together. 2 right now with Chris Paul and James Harden, and you add in Carmelo. So it'll be funny. For a career fit, I think Carmelo is better off going to Portland. But for to try to get a championship right now, which ain't gonna happen in any place unless some injuries happen. I think it's Houston for him. Will he accommodate Chris Paul and Chris Paul accommodate James Harden and James Harden accommodate Chris Paul and for them to be better? Is these guys willing to play defense? You can say the same questions will go in Portland, but in Portland, he be playing with 2 younger scorers that probably, idolize him coming up. And they recruited him, they want him there, and they going to feed him the rock. And they going to make that work. Terry Stotts is a good coach in Portland. He's a better coach than Mike D'Antoni when you talk about overall offense, defense, and transition game and all that stuff. So, me personally, for the NBA, I would want him to see him in Houston, but for his career, I think Portland is a better fit. I think that team could make some noise with those 3 people in Nurkic, and then they can fill out some other key spots in there. I think they still will have a few other guys that have to fill out some bench depth. But most definitely it'd be a great move for Portland and Houston. I think it's time for Portland to come back to prominence, and I think this move would. And I think Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum would easily accommodate Carmelo, make him feel comfortable there. And Houston is going to be more of a transition period for him. Taking a different role, probably playing the four a little bit more than he did in New York, posting up some more, playing defense. And if Carmelo's really, the hoodie Carmelo's really ready to make that commitment, Houston can be crazy. But they don't want to give up Randy Anderson. And I really don't know what else they would have left. Well, they would have, I think Lou Williams moved on. Eric Gordon. They would have to give up a lot, But they got a lot of scoring now, so they need more glue guys. They need more Patrick Beverleys. They need more guys that's going, a 3-point specialist, defensive specialist. Need guys like that now. Portland, it's gonna work for sure. I think it's gonna work in Portland for sure. Houston, I don't know if it worked. Too many egos. But let me know what y'all think about Carmelo going to Portland potentially or Houston. We gone.